All right, happy Halloween to everyone. It is time now for another preview for Deep Dish Football overtime game of the week this Friday night at Benedictine University football field as North Boone goes to Lisle to take them on. 3A action. Good small school game as discussed. Let's first get into the Lisle territory first. Lisle, only one loss this season, and that's against Coal City for a team. Not bad, especially against a tough schedule in that Interstate 8. Now, let's talk about some of the players. And I really do think this is going to happen. I think this game is going to depend really much on the arm of Jay McGrath. I think it's going to be very particular on his completion percentage and how many of the small breaks that his wide receivers can get against those DBs of North Boone. I think that's going to be a very popular thing to look at. Demetrius Kelly, very speedy guy. Michael Walker, running back, also can be split out into the wide receiver spot. he, I, I really do think North Boone is going to be more focused on the run game of Lisle, and they should be, no doubt about it. Lisle has a great run game. You have your offensive lineman in Paz, who's a guy that a lot of people should be talking about. He gets the job done. Lunch pail worker. That's all I can say about Paz. He does everything. Definitely kid a lot more people should be talking about. Nick Murrich at tight end. They have some good tight ends, defensive ends. One of the main guys. Hopefully I can get this guy's name up. Charlie Wadolski and the other defensive end. I'm trying to find the other guy. That's going to be very, very important for them in this game against North Boone. They have to get pressure on Brendan Morris. And they have to be prepared for the run. And I'll get into that when I get into North Boone. But Lisle, every obstacle that has been put in their way, they've taken care of. And I wasn't expecting them to be Coal City. There was no way I was expecting them to be Coal City. But everything that they've done in a smart way. And Coach Parpet is basically a ball control type of guy. So it's going to be a very interesting thing to see the chess match between Parpet and Coach Sullivan in North Boone. Very, very important. All right, so let's get to the schedule. Just talk a little bit about Lisle. Beat Mantino, beat Harvard, beat Wilmington, beat Piatone, beat Herscher, beat Reed Custer, beat Streeter. Beat the Deep Dish football game of the other week, Sandwich. Beat Coal City, and then after last game, the first round of playoffs, they beat Dwight, former Interstate 8 team. So again, solid schedule, some big time wins for Lisle, and again, Lisle's on that proving grounds. And I say this before. The main focus is going to be Jay McGrath of Lisle. It's going to be a huge thing on what he can do with his arm and that passing attack. Because North Boone is going to be focused on the run game. All right, so let's go on this one. All right, so now we get to North Boone. And North Boone is scary. And I say this for one reason. Brendan Morris. The kid is probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the state of Illinois. Definitely a kid that a lot of people need to be talking about more. No doubt about it. For what he's done, his arm accuracy, and just his mental, his IQ, his football IQ at quarterback, that's unseen. That's unheard of, especially in the high school level. I'm very impressed with Brendan Morris. Now, as we get into the team, and I talked about this very, very, how do you say, very stressful on this one. The big game is going to be the running game of North Boone. Because, again, Lisle will basically be playing bump coverage on North Boone. Brendan Morris, Cooper Bannon, another running, that's a running back to keep an eye out for. Ethan Rydell, he's a wide receiver that a lot of people don't know about. Big play wide receiver. Who else? I'm trying to look for the guy. Dylan Meyer, he's a good offensive tackle. He'll definitely be a clog in that against that Lisle defensive line. They've got a good group of athletes, solid group of athletes, good wide receiver core. I really do think, again, that running game of North Boone is going to be a serious thing in this game. Now, we talk about the field. Benedictine University Field is an artificial turf field. That is a great field for that North Boone offense. A great field for the North Boone offense. You couldn't ask for anything better. So, we'll see what happens. I forgot about Abraham Rosales. Hopefully I got that correct. I do apologize, and I will mispronounce names. I apologize about that. So again, a couple things to look at key-wise. Let's see. Beat Mendota. Hopefully I got this right. Beat Rockford Lutheran. Beat Big Boy Dixon. Lost to Bryan, who's a 3A powerhouse, basically. No doubt about it. Lost to Genoa Kingston. Beat Winnebago. Beat Oregon. Beat Stillman Valley. And I think they beat Rockford Falls. Hopefully they beat Rockford Falls. Let me check for 1 second. They beat Rock Falls. Yeah, they beat Rock Falls. They lost to Bryan. And they lost to Genoa Kingston. They beat Orienda, Mid-County, last week in the first round playoffs. Big game, 43-42 against Winnebago. And as you can see, they're putting up big numbers. And the first game against Mendota, 63-0. If you look at the offenses that they've given up their most points to. Well, if they lose again, they've given up their most points to. But if you look at it, where is it? I'm trying to find it. Sorry about that. If you look at the only close game with the least points they gave up, the most points that they gave up is Genoa Kingston. They lost by 7 points, 23-30. But on the scores, they have 3 games in the 20s and 4 games in the 40s. What does that say? That's very impressive for an offense. But again, Bryn Morris is the real deal, but the running game is going to be key for North Boone as they take on Lisle. I can't wait for the game this Friday night at Benedictine University football field. Sorry for the rush, but I want to get this out as soon as possible as I head out to Lisle on Friday for the game, 3A. And again, if you talk about 3A, and I said this numerous times, there's no clear-cut team in the 3A conference. Bryan maybe, okay, but it's wide open in 3A. And these 2 teams that I'm seeing, one team's going to win, but they have a great shot at getting to the state title game, no doubt about it. So it's definitely a thing to be interested as we end this video. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you have any questions, you can email me, coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Follow Coach Big Pete, follow Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Deep Dish Football Live is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, 9 a.m. Saturday. What else was I going to say? If you like my work, feel free to leave a tip via PayPal. And thank you so much. Enjoy the Halloween evening. Be safe. And can't wait to see everyone for the game at Benedictine University.